likes for this videos. If we get more than 2,000 likes at this videos, we will upload more patriotic news. Breaking: Bill O'Reilly definitely does not like the recent news. Tucker Carlson makes miracles. Though, as you have probably heard, Bill O'Reilly got fired from Fox News last week. This came as a response to the numerous accusations of sexual harassment against him which suddenly came to the surface. Having worked there for 20 years, Bill thought that Tucker Carlson, a next-in-line journalist, would definitely have a lower rate of viewers. But this is definitely not what Bill was hoping to see. The latest report by Daily Mail brings up unbelievable statistics. It's shocking that Carlson's rates after taking over the time slot on Monday are almost identical to those to O'Reilly. Or, to be more precise, 3.2 million viewers on average, out of which over 630,000 were between the ages of 25 and 54, a main demographic for the show. Even though Carlson has a viewers deficit of 10%, compared to the 3.5 million average Bill had on April 11, the age demographic Tucker has reached seems to have brought him a big achievement, since that is what the Fox News executives apparently like. Carlson has also easily beaten his competitors, MSNBC's All In with Chris Hayes and CNN's Anderson Cooper 360, with an advance of 1.5 million and 1 million viewers respectively. Tucker has also shown the kind of man he is this Monday, by showing both gratitude and respect to Bill, as he opened his program. For those of you tuning in expecting to see some different in this anchor chair, I know the feeling well, Carlson stated. What O'Reilly did was not easy. He set a high bar, and I'm going to do my best to meet it. Thanks for sticking with us. This is definitely an act of professionalism and statement worthy of respect. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and opinions. Revealed: Paul Ryan chooses to support the Planned Parenthood over the Great Wall. Republican leadership is currently seeking options to support Planned Parenthood but has no plan regarding the U.S. Mexican border wall. It is unbelievable how these people are getting out of the path. This is the latest CNS News report. When Donald Trump stood in the lobby of Trump Tower on June 16, 2015 and announced he was running for president, he told all who listened to mark his words. I would do various things very quickly, Trump stated. I would repeal and replace the big lie, Obamacare, he said. I will build a great wall on our southern border, he said. And I will have Mexico pay for that wall. The deadline for passing a new government funding bill is 28th of April. So the Congress is running out of time. Right now, there is no whisper of banning the Planned Parenthood from the bill. But, the whisper is one of Trump's request will be excluded. A request to provide $1.4 billion in order to start with the building of the Great Wall on our southern border. The Republican House seems to have two options only. Either to pass and forward to the Republican Senate a bill which will fund the Great Wall and exclude the Planned Parenthood, or one which will mean the opposite, funding the Planned Parenthood only, but not the wall. It will be up to them to choose. Voting the first option will accomplish the campaign promises of the now elected president, while the second one will relieve and satisfy both Democrats in the Congress and the mainstream media. As for right now, we can do nothing but wait. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predictions. Just now. Ted Cruz drug lords should be the ones paying for the wall. A new, alternative, solution including a strange source has just appeared, following the struggles of the president's administration, which is seeking ways to finance the construction of the wall between the U.S. and Mexico, using the federal budget. Senator Ted Cruz, this Tuesday, proposed the money captured from El Chapo Guzman, who used to be the mastermind of the hugest drug cartel, to be used for the building of the wall. Also, he advises that all of the funds swiped in the future, mainly from drug distribution business, to be used for this mean. U.S. authorities are seeking the forfeiture of more than $14 billion in cash proceeds from narcotics sales, that Guzman has earned during his long career. Says Forbes. The El Chapo Act is the formal name of the legislation, one which is proposed by Cruz and contains the detailed explanation of his plan. $14 billion will go a long way toward building a wall that will keep Americans safe and hinder the illegal flow of drugs, weapons, and individuals across our southern border," stated Ted. If his bill passes the Senate, the money will be used both for the wall construction and border protection. The bill imposes that any funds confiscated from drug masterminds in the future will be provided for the border security. This suggestion is not the first of its kind. Having the money seized from Mexican drug cartels would mean that the bad Mexicans would end up paying for the wall, and the bad Mexicans have been terrorizing the good Mexicans with crime and kidnappings and murders within Mexico itself, was stated by Jim Sensenbrenner, a Republican who has already brought a related proposal in the House, saying that we're going to have the Mexican drug cartels end up paying for the wall. That may very well be something that is powerful enough to get the institutional inertia in the Senate overcome, stated Sensenbrenner. As a head of the Sinaloa drug cartel, he was arrested and succeeded to break out Mexican prisons twice. Later on, this January his extradition to the States happened. He is currently facing accusations for a lot of things, including over 500 tons of cocaine believed to have passed over the U.S. Mexico border. He is put in a maximum security prison in Manhattan, where he's awaiting a jury trial. People are skeptic he'll get out of prison since the largest amount ever paid in U.S., in a drug case, reaches $14 billion, an amount thought to be out of reach for Guzman. His net worth was calculated to somewhat more than $1 billion in 2009's Forbes ranking, but he was not included between the billionaires 4 years later since the Forbes decided his capital was unverifiable. We would be happy to hear your thoughts and predict. Massive news: Trump's latest activities, a threat to every liberal and supporter of Obama. The former U.S. President, Obama, deserves the epithet of the wisest and most powerful liberal elitist. The reason for this is his success and commitment regarding the spread of the globalists' plan and their shadow government, something neither Hillary nor McCain had luck doing. Shadow government, huge words which, in our heads ring a bell of something terrible and awful. By trying to create a state of apathy and dependence, you can easily realize this is not a conspiracy theory. Their activities are complete nonsense. Small health policy rather than employing citizens, mass media controlling the public opinion, rather than rule of democracy and freedom of choice and proper education, gay rights and radicalism rather than morality and religion. The final outcome they want to achieve with their activities is visible. Luckily we have Donald Trump to oppose them. Out of the blue, he came and wrecked their plans. The rather irritated and desperate liberals are trying not to give up on their shadow government ever since. The staff left from Obama's mandate is definitely spying on Trump. The surveillance of the Trump Tower and some similar activities executed by Comey and the NASA are just proving that. And their excuses are pretty biased and silly. Stating that they have done it just because there was a Russian boss using the hotel services are just hilarious. Despite all of the miserable attempts to degrade Trump by investigations and spying, our president came out flawless, howsoever. Unfortunately, the liberals got away with it, as they always do. But, the time has come. The US president is launching the final attack. One which will destroy the liberals' shadow state for good. Trump himself has picked and ingrained 16 assistants in several federal agencies with a simple duty to observe and write reports to the president regarding any action of current cabinet secretaries. As we heard from Huffington Post and the Angry Patriot movement, we must say we'll be more than happy to proclaim the end of the liberal deep state. Draining the swamp is the right thing to do, as we must fix all of our liberal problems with the federal government. President Trump is on the right track to do it. Behind the scenes, though, they're on another mission, to monitor cabinet leaders and their top staffs to make sure they carry out the president's agenda and don't stray too far from the White House's talking points. Was reported to the Huffington Post by several WH officials. We all support the president's actions and hope that the end is near. Thank you, Donald Trump. This is how you make America great again. We will be happy to hear your thoughts and predictions. Wow. Gowdy breaks his silence after two of his investigators are found tortured and killed. Two federalized deputies working for Gowdy were discovered tortured and killed recently while on their way to serve a search warrant on the Clinton Presidential Library. The details of the crime are sketchy, but one thing is certain: whoever pulled it off is a pro who left absolutely no evidence behind. According to the Washington feed, Mr. Gowdy, who has had little to nothing to say on the matter for security reasons, released a statement from his office where he is currently holed up under the protection of U.S. Marshals. The incident in Arkansas is just the latest in a vast conspiracy to cover up crimes by one of the most corrupt families in human history. No, we have no evidence. There's never any evidence. What we do have, however, is a mole. Someone inside my own committee cost those men their lives by leaking their travel plans. I intend to find out who that mole is and have them waterboarded as an enemy of the state until they give up their boss. Gowdy is clearly at the end of his rope. To insist on enhanced interrogation means he believes the perpetrator is an enemy combatant. That's going to put a lot of pressure on the family in question to cover their tracks. Hopefully, nobody else needs to go missing.